Hello, kindergartners. Mrs. Boydston back again. We had another request for a Pete the Cat book. This one came from Benson. This Pete the Cat book makes me laugh. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, and I hope you will join in. You'll see what I mean. The title is Pete the Cat and His Four Groovy Buttons. The author is Eric Litwin, and the art is by James Dean. So he's our illustrator. Pete the Cat and His Four Groovy Buttons. Are there more or less than 4 buttons here? Way more. Now we can see where he wears his 4 groovy buttons. Okay. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. 4. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Well, there were 4. Can you see how many are left? 3, because 4 take away 1 equals 3. 1, 2, 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. Sing it with us. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. 3 groovy. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2, because 3 take away 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1, because 2 take away 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. What do you think will happen next? Oh, pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0, because 1 take away 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button. He kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. And he says, it's all good. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. And that is the story of Pete and his 4 groovy buttons. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's funny because there's a story in here for people who like stories. There's some math in here for people who like math. There's rhyming for people like me who love to rhyme. But there's also a little bit of a lesson in there. Did you catch it? Especially now, we're having a time in our life when some things come and some things go. But does it do us any good to cry about it? Goodness, no. We keep on being happy for what we do have. I am so happy you joined me for this story. Tell your friends, they might like it too. And thank you for joining me on Mrs. Boydston Reads.